Hey guys, 80s Revolution back. Second straight back-to-back nights with a video for you guys, for your entertainment, of course. I am back tonight to do an LJN, to continue on with the LJN figures review. We're up to Series 5, which was pretty heavy in managers. This was 1986, and this is when... I believe this is the first series that started featuring managers. And it was pretty heavy, manager heavy. There were probably 4 managers in this series, which was just awesome to see as a kid because the managers back in the 80s were, well, first of all, for some of you modern wrestling fans, if you're watching, you know, you're not quite familiar with who managers are. But back in the 80s, a wrestler would have a manager, and in the pro wrestling world, this was the person who booked their matches and booked their hotel rooms and handled their money, which was always part of something to look out for. You wouldn't want that deceptive manager handling your money. There were certainly good guy managers, but for the majority, the bad guys had managers, and they were a major part of storylines. They were a major part of, every time the guy would, the wrestler would come out on TV, he would be accompanied by his manager. And oftentimes, that manager would pretty much be his mouthpiece. He would speak for the wrestler. And a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times they would stick a good talking manager with a not so good talking wrestler. Basically, a wrestler who couldn't cut a promo would be put with a manager who could. And managers are supposed to be excellent at talking, at cutting promos. So managers were a huge, huge part of 80s wrestling. And it was good to see them finally coming out for the LJN line because, like I said, they were just as... They were just as featured. They were featured just as much on television as the wrestlers themselves. So, but before that, I know I just did a pickup video yesterday, but I went to Savers today, and this is probably this is in the top 5 thrift store finds for me. And it's so weird because it seems like every time I buy something, at full price, I find it shortly thereafter at a thrift store for ridiculously low price. And I did that again today at Savers, and I couldn't believe it. I'm going to put this on eBay, and I'm going to list it at probably between $60 and $70 with a best offer. And I'm not going to put free shipping because it's a little bulkier item, so I'm going to put it at $12 shipping. If any of you guys are interested in this item, I will sell it to you for $60 plus $10 shipping, so $70 overall. What is 80s Revolution doing drinking wine? Wine out of a tumbler. Yeah, I don't know. We had a box of wine in the fridge, so when in Rome. So anyway, real quick, pickups before LJNs. I'll get through these really quickly. Grabbed this at Savers today. I love it. It's awesome. I couldn't believe I saw it there. It was cheap. It was $1.99. I'm a big Color Forms fan. You know that. And so here is Color Forms. Color Forms morphed into something called Presto Art or Presto Magic. It was from, so basically you couldn't use the Color Form name because that was branded and copyrighted. So another company called Rose Art came out with their version of Color Forms, but called them Presto Magic Stick and Lifts. And same concept as Color Forms. So I was able to get today the Home Alone 2 Presto Magic Stick and Lift Color Forms. Love it. Absolutely love it. Love it. $1.99. That's not the big find of the day. I just I just reviewed this from a toy show. I just found this at a toy show and paid $45 for it at a toy show. Well, at Savers today, I paid $5.99 for it, and that is the Chuck Norris Karate Commandos Karate Corvette in box. Amazing, amazing find. It does not come with, so a complete version has these little round discs that go in the back of the car, and you can press a button and they go flying. Does not come with any of those, but all of the mechanisms are in place. The little, I don't know, knives or something that stick out of the car are there. Those are often broken off, but they are there. Again, no knives, or no throwing stars, throwing discs, but we have a very nice shape car with very little playware, it looks like. The box is in relatively decent shape for a box from 1986. Faint mildew smell. There's some tape on it, little bowing, a little bit of, you can see that kind of bows out a little bit. It's fine for display. It's great for display. I'd be thrilled with it if I got it and didn't have it. I'd be absolutely out of my mind right now if I didn't have this and I was able to get it for $5. But Chuck Norris Karate Commandos Corvette inbox from Savers, $5. Incredible find. It came with 2 figures, no accessories, but Chuck Norris and Reed Smith. Those are going to be included in the eBay lot. So I'm going to put it up tonight with a little bit higher buy it now that I would offer you guys. If you want it, let me know like in the next 24 hours, and I will sell it to you for, I don't even remember what I said. So let's say $62. So 50 plus 12. And I know that is not what I just said a minute ago, but I can't remember, so you benefit. $50, 12 shipping, $62 total, PayPal to me. I'll give you that information if you're interested, and I will send it to you. If not, I'm going to list it on eBay for about $70. Okay, if you're not interested, it doesn't matter. It's okay. I'll just put it on eBay. It's all good. All right, a couple of other quick things I got. A double pack of Donnie Brasco, and We Own the Night. I like Donnie Brasco. We Own the Night's okay. I basically got this for Donnie Brasco. And my favorite actor is Edward Burns. And he's not really a household name, but if you've seen, he did a couple of very awesome Irish movies back in the day, and I fell in love with the movies. She's the One and Brothers McMullen. She's the One had Jennifer Aniston in it and Cameron Diaz pretty early in their careers. And Edward Burns is a director and a writer and all that fun stuff. And he's an actor, and I love him. I think he's fantastic. Minor man crush on him. And as George Costanza said, I say that with a staunch record of heterosexuality. But Edward Burns is a man crush. Sorry. But anyway, I grabbed She's the One. This is part of some kind of special series that he did called the Filmmaker Signature Series. I'm sure he didn't do it, but 20th Century Fox. Says, welcome to the Filmmaker Signature Series on Blu-ray. So this must have been some kind of series. But I know both of his early movies are on it. She's the One and Brothers McMullen. I was able to grab She's the One real quick from a pawn shop that I just stopped at today. So that's that. Yeah. Okay. On to the LJNs. That's why you're here, right? Wine out of a milk glass. Only the 80s Revolution classes it up for you. Series 5, LJN, 1986. Like I said, it was manager heavy, but it was also the first year of the 2-packs. Up till now, you've seen only single figures on card. But in 1986, LJN got the brilliant idea of making tag team 2-packs, and they are awesome. They did release each individual member of the tag team on single card, which are, for most of the figures, relatively difficult to find and expensive, including especially the British Bulldogs on single card and the Heart Foundation on single card. Those are astronomical, $1,000 figures. So they came out with tag team sets for the first time. We're going to show you one of those. But first, it was also a pretty deep roster or lineup for Series 5. The line had taken off. It was hugely popular. By 1986, WWF was off the charts with marketing, and they added several figures to this line. So many that I have to do this in. I have to cut the series in half for you guys, and do half of Series 5 now, and the other half in a future video. So let's get on to it. I'll showcase the managers first. I'll showcase the loose figures first. We've got my absolute favorite manager of all time, and probably, in my opinion, the greatest manager of all time. And because he was so witty and so fast and could ad-lib like nobody else, and his jokes and delivery he knocked it out of the park every single time. I don't think any of this guy's comedy or jokes or comebacks ever fell flat, and if they fell flat, it was only because the people that he was saying to didn't get it. But I'm talking, of course, about Bobby the Brain Heenan. And so here he is. This is the Bobby the Brain Heenan manager figure. They did really good with the managers. They made them smaller. They made them thinner. Just looking at this really just brings me back, because when I would play with these guys, I would actually have the managers come out with, whoever they were managing, and, would interfere in the matches and would get, knocked around. And, at one point in time, they were having the managers. Sometimes the managers would sub for a wrestler and would, actually wrestle. And that was everybody would freak out about that, because you knew the guy was going to get destroyed. And Bobby Heenan was a wrestler at one point early in his career before managing. He was a wrestler. And in wrestling terms, this guy was a bump machine. And basically that means that he would throw himself around the ring like a rag doll, and would take bumps that were just amazing to watch. He could throw himself over the rope. He could, Bobby the Brain Heenan really, really, to me, is probably one of the best wrestling personalities of all time. He just knew how to do everything in wrestling. I loved the guy. And if you have seen him lately over the past 3 or 4 years, maybe longer, he's not in good shape. He had, I think, some kind of a jaw cancer or throat cancer. He had a lot of his jaw removed, and he looks horrible. And I hate to say that, but it's true. Google him, take a look at him. It's sad. He's, he's had a lot of his jaw shaved off, and his face is kind of disfigured, and he can't really talk, you can't really understand, but he keeps going out to conventions and autograph signings and keeps interacting with fans, and I've never got to meet him, and I wish I could. And he's Bobby the Brain Heenan, and he's awesome. So for some reason, like LJN does, they made 2 different Bobby the Brain Heenan figures, variants, if you will, and I have both. The only difference is, if you can take a look, you can see the difference. This one is known as Bobby the Brain Heenan with swirls, and this one is not. I don't know what the idea is, but they made 2 figures, one with an artistic swirl on the shoulder and the other without. I don't think any one is more rare. I don't think any one is more valuable. I don't know why they did that, but I have both. Bobby the Brain Heenan. Awesome, awesome figures. And real quick, I'll just show you him on card as well. And this happens to be the swirl-less version of Bobby Heenan. On card, you've seen the cards before. The only difference with the cards for managers is that it says manager, which is awesome. Love it. It still came with a poster, but the only difference about the card is that it has manager stamped onto it. Also still comes with the bio card. Can't really say enough about this guy. He, major part of the childhood, major wrestling memory, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Continuing on with the managers, and I'll do two this time. The great Captain Lou Albano. And I might have two of these as well. I don't see it. Maybe I don't. There was a variant of this figure as well. If you can look closely, you see the Albano character on his t-shirt. Well, you can see this red lapel, right? Well, there's a second version that doesn't have a red lapel. It's white. Again, no more rare, no more valuable, but there are two Captain Lou's out there. I only have one, I guess. But this is the Captain Lou figure. Awesome, short, stocky figure. Really captures the likeness perfectly. This is, this look of his is like mid to late 85, where he started getting his own t-shirts. The WWF started, producing t-shirts of the guys, and this was an actual t-shirt that existed out there. You could buy this t-shirt. So he's got his jean vest, he's got his pants, of course, he's got his beard pulled into a rubber band because that's what Captain Lou, and of course, if you look closely, he's got a rubber band hanging from his chin. I don't know how he did that, but he would have rubber bands hanging from his face. I don't know if he stuck a needle in his face or what, but Captain Lou, and of course, the Hollywood fashion plate, Classy Freddie Blassie, complete with his signature cane that, of course, he would use to knock opponents out. Classy Freddie Blassie. I think, personally, they could have done a little bit better with the outfit. He would wear a lot of, sort of colorful sequin stuff, and I think they kind of copped out with the red and yellow combo, but the sweater jacket, or this jacket, was always a fixture. He always had a jacket over the rest of his outfit, so they got that right, but I think they could have done a little bit better with colors and maybe added some sparkles or glitter or something like that. But Classy Freddie Blassie and Captain Lou, part of the manager's line of LJN. And I have the Captain Lou on card. This actually, I just noticed this. This is actually the non-red lapel version. As you can see, I learn stuff every day. I might have known this, I might have long forgotten, but I might not have either. I have the red lapel version loose and the white lapel version on card. Good stuff. Captain Lou, bio card. Actually, there's his shirt, as you can see. He's got the same shirt as the figure, so I think that's fantastic. I just love these so much. I do have, when I'm showing you carded figures, and I'm not showing you every single carded figure that I have of the loose figure, I do have them. They're just kind of, the way the shelves are stocked is that they're kind of buried, and so I don't dig them out. So I dig out what I can find for you and pull easily off the shelf. And so I do have Freddie Blassie on card and Bobby Heenan and all that. So okay. In 1986, they made a figure of a guy who was not much of an active wrestler at the time. He was more of a commentator. He did come out of retirement in 1986 to have a little brief sort of curtain call, bunch of matches before his actual retirement. He got into a pretty heated feud with Randy Savage after Randy Savage crushed the larynx of Ricky Steamboat. But prior to 1986, actually prior to 1976, this guy had a pretty amazing career for the WWF and is one of the sort of, if we were going to do a Mount Rushmore of the WWF, this guy's head would definitely be up there as one of the pioneers of the WWF, or WWF at the time. Of course, I am talking about the living legend, Bruno Sammartino. So here is, so like I said, at the time, Sammartino was a commentator, but he did come from behind the booth and got into the ring for most of 1986. Again, kind of a farewell tour for him. But they made him in pretty cool wrestling gear, obviously. Bruno Sammartino. LJN really did a good job, I think, at capturing the likeness of the figures. Obviously, the face is Bruno Sammartino, complete with the giant nose. Okay, we're talking long before, what are they doing now, like photo scan or whatever it's called, real scan, where they actually scan a guy's face and make it into a figure. This is just like straight up artist rendition of Bruno Sammartino. Made him short, stocky, gave him a big ass. This is Bruno Sammartino captured in an 8-inch rubber figure, and I love it. Love this figure as well. Bruno Sammartino. I do have him carded as well, which is awesome. I love it. Great bio card, and you can see there, if you take a closer look, and I cannot focus this because it's just a digital camera, but he's actually taking on Bobby Heenan, which is pretty awesome. I was able to meet Bruno Sammartino several years ago at a sort of like an indie legends show in Pennsylvania. And I got a picture with him and had him sign my LJN figure, if you can see the Bruno Sammartino autograph. You know, pretty awesome moment. Went by quick, shook his hand, took a picture, and he signed my figure. So, Bruno Sammartino autographed on card. Moving along, we'll do, in 1986, well, prior to 1986, the Sergeant Slaughter was a big part of the WWF. He was kind of their all-American sort of, you know, military hero. And hang on. Okay. He left in 85, and the WWF, as they would do back then, would quickly try to replace a guy with somebody who wasn't even close. When Jimmy Snuka left, they replaced him with another Fijian character named Siva Afi, also being hailed from the Fiji Islands as Jimmy Snuka was, and that obviously didn't go well. And when Sergeant Slaughter left, they replaced him with a guy named Corporal Kirschner. And Corporal Kirschner came in. He was billed from the 82nd Airborne, and he came in with fatigues and the American flag, and, you know, he would fight all the foreign bad guys, but he was not Sergeant Slaughter, obviously. So, but Corporal Kirschner has the strange honor of having 3 figures made of him with the slightest variance. I have 2 of those. One is clean face Corporal Kirschner. So, first of all, this is Corporal Kirschner. A good figure, actually. A good, solid, playable figure. Good pose. Looks good. He's got his beret. He's got his fatigues. He's got his dog tags, black boots. But if you take a look at the face, he's clean shaven, right? So this is clean shaven Corporal Kirschner. Well, for some reason, they made bearded Corporal Kirschner. And you can take a look, and he's bearded. Same exact figure. But at some point in time, Corporal Kirschner must have had a beard. I don't remember it, but he must have had a beard. And so they put out maybe a limited run, I don't know, of Corporal Kirschner with beard. Not too strange, right? That's normal. The third Corporal Kirschner figure, which I don't have, is known as Corporal Kirschner with unpainted stubble. So if you take, you can't see it, but trust me, if you take a look at the unpainted Corporal Kirschner, his face is smooth. Okay? The bearded Corporal Kirschner, which you can't see, trust me, has grooves in his face. Grooves that would sort of, give the impression of a beard when they colored it in. Well, apparently some of those grooved face Corporal Kirschners made it out in the release, into public. And nobody would know the difference unless they're looking closely at it. So basically it's a clean-faced Corporal Kirschner, but if you look really close, he's got grooves in his face. And they're uncolored. So there's 3 Corporal Kirschner figures. Actually, bearded Corporal Kirschner fetches a good amount of money on eBay, and carded he could go up to $200 when non-bearded Corporal Kirschner could fetch 40 or 50. I don't know, guys. It's the crazy, crazy world of 80s toys. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stop this and then come back. I'm going to add about 5 more minutes to the end of this. I'll be right back. Okay, ran out of space there. I'm only going to add another 3 or 4 minutes to this, maybe 5. I don't know, maybe 30. Who knows? I talk forever. I mentioned tag teams. Tag teams started coming out in 1986, and one of the popular tag teams of that year, or that era of WWF, was the WWF Tag Team Champions, the British Bulldogs. These are one of my favorite tag teams of the time. Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid were both from the UK, but wrestled, initially came up in the, so Bret Hart, his father, Stu Hart, had a wrestling organization in Canada, in Calgary, I believe. And I know the name of Bret Hart's, Stampede Wrestling. So Stu Hart, was the promoter or owner or whatever, the Vince McMahon of Stampede Wrestling in Canada. And it did well, fairly well for a sort of regional promotion. But Calgary, the Stampede Wrestling produced, obviously, Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Jim Neidhart, Bad News Brown, and the British Bulldogs. Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid both got their starts there. Dynamite Kid did a lot of wrestling in Japan prior. He was actually under a mask at one point called Tiger Mask. No, he wasn't. He fought Tiger Mask. Dynamite Kid fought Tiger Mask back in 1984 in Madison Square Garden for the WWF Junior Heavyweight title, which I think was kind of a fake belt that they made up. Anyway, I'm getting my history confused. Here they are. Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid, the British Bulldogs, complete with their tag team title belts. This is pretty cool. The tag team title belts are the same design as Hulk Hogan's heavyweight title, only they gave them brown straps instead of black straps. The WWF tag team titles never ever looked like this. But I guess this was just LJN's way of, shortcutting us. So instead of making new belts with a new design, they just gave us brown straps instead of black straps. I don't care. It was awesome. I loved it as a kid. And I really like these guys. These guys are pretty awesome. Davey Boy Smith, Dynamite Kid, the British Bulldogs. So here, like I said, tag teams came out. Of course, I have carded tag team sets, and here they are. These are beautiful. This is the British Bulldogs on card. Came in this wonderfully awesome, massive package, complete with the 2 figures, the championship belts, a poster which was bigger than the posters on single cards, so that was awesome to see, and pretty much the same back as the cards, the single cards, with a bio card, a collection of figures, and this one has a picture of a ring on it, which is pretty awesome. So this is the LJN Tag Team box set of the British Bulldogs. I love those tag team sets. They were so fun to see in Toys R Us or Kitty City or wherever. and they fetch a good dollar. I would say that I haven't looked in a long time, like I've said before, but the British Bulldog Tag Team box set, I don't know, I guess on a bad day could get $120. On a good day, if somebody was really wanting it, could grab $250 or so. I want to show you something real quick, so stay with me. I'm going to disappear for a minute, but I want to show you something that I think you'll enjoy. Hang on one sec. Don't go anywhere. Okay. So I had, I've had these figures forever, LJN figures have existed since I was 8. And I told you way early in my videos that I sold off all of my original figures at one point. But for some reason, 2 figures of mine survived the sell-off. And I just think that they were put somewhere else, and I didn't know where they were at the time that I was selling. So what I have kept for since 1986, 21 years? No, longer. I don't know, whatever. Since 1986, I have kept these 2 figures. These 2 that I'm about to show you are my original LJN figures, complete with playwear. They are filthy. There's some other damage on them that I'll explain to you in a minute, but here they are. My 2 original LJN British Bulldogs. These are mine from 1986. And they're dirty. And they're damaged. And they're pretty awesome. So I was able to salvage my 2 original figures. Now, my Dynamite Kid figure doesn't have a fist. It's kind of destroyed. The story behind that is when I was a kid, I had a pet rat. Yes, I had a pet rat, and this rat turned into like mutant super rat. And so I had him in an aquarium with a top on it. And this rat would jump and use his head to bump the top of the aquarium off. And over time, he would loosen it and it would fall off. So he'd bang his head against this thing like 20 times before he got the top to fall off. And the top would fall off, and then he would jump and climb out of the cage, and he would disappear for a day or 2. So I finally decided to weigh down the top of the cage. I'm probably 12 at this time. I decided to weigh down the top of the cage with the heaviest things in my room, and those were my LJN wrestling figures. So I would lay the figures on top of the cage. Well, I mean, I probably had like 5 or 6 figures up there, and this giant super rat would burst his way out. And I think just to piss me off, he would eat the LJN figures. So British Bulldog, Dynamite Kid, and his mutilated hand as a result of Ljn the White Rat. Yes, so that's my story. So that was quick. Well, no, it wasn't. That was long. So that's half of LJN Series 5. I will do another one soon. Thank you again, as always, and I'll say it over and over again. Thank you guys for all of your comments. Love it. I'm having so much fun doing this. So much fun talking to you guys. Sending you guys stuff, whatever. I love it. And I've actually had somebody, Joker78 is a subscriber of mine, and he has asked to send me some stuff. He wants me to give him my address so that he can send me stuff. I don't know. He said, a package of goodies. I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, that's amazing. So Joker78, I will gladly give you my address, and, certainly be honored to open up a package from you. I think that's incredible. And whatever you give me will be highlighted and showcased and proudly displayed in the Nerd Cave. But so I just think that's so cool, all the talking that I'm doing with you guys, all the comments that you're leaving. And now I've got this guy, Joker78, wants to send me stuff. Amazing. That's great. That's again, that's the only reason I'm doing this, is to interact with you guys. So that's LJN, half of LJN Series 5. Thank you all very much. I will be back soon with the second half of the LJNs. We're going to be doing a Sega Master System for my man Robbie Rupak Radio. Requested a special Sega Master System Let's Play. So we're going to do that over the weekend. You guys can check it out on Monday. Thank you all very much. Have a good week. I will see you soon. Take care.